Hey, what's up guys, 9 to 5 Gamers here, and I'm going to go ahead and do a live reaction to the just announced Venom Marvel Champion. So I guess the leaks were true that they were adding Venom as the next character, which I'll be honest, I didn't even see that coming, but I guess it makes sense all in all. And so we want to take a look real quick at his hero pack. So let's take a look and dive in. So you've got his alter ego, which is Flash Thompson. He has hit points of 12, which is really good, and a hand size of 6, which is really good. A recovery of 4, which is, pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's better than 3. It's multiples. Typically, like, people with like 9 health will have like a healing of 3, and people who have over that will go up to 4 and 5. But that's a really good healing. That means that 12 is divisible by 4. That means he'll have to heal 3 times to heal up to full health. But so let's look at his ability. Well, first of all, he's got a passive ability that says you can control 1 additional upgrade that has a restricted keyword. So any single card that has restricted on it, you can control more than 1 of them. That's interesting. Now, I don't know if that means, I don't think that means like you can have like 2 Yarn Bjorns, but I think that when it comes to like restricted cards, if I'm not mistaken, let me look this up real quick. What does restricted mean? Marvel Champions restricted cards. LCG mechanic. Guard overkill restricted. A player cannot control more than 2 restricted cards in play at a given time. If a player ever controls more than 2 restricted cards in play, they must immediately choose and discard from play restricted cards they control until they only have 2. Okay, so then he can have 3 restricted cards. So then that's what that means. Because he has that, you can control 1 additional upgrade that has the restricted keyword. That means that you can have up to 3 restricted cards, which I'm assuming that has something to do with his kit, but I haven't gotten there yet, so we'll see. All right, so setup. Armed and ready, discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard a weapon upgrade, then add that card to your hand. I like where this is going. It seems like he's just going to come in guns blazing, and so that means that he's going to be a little bit like Rocket, but more like Crossbones. So we're looking at a hero that plays like the villain Crossbones. So let's take a look at hero side. Venom. You can control 1 additional upgrade that has the restricted keyword. Okay, so he has that on both sides. And then he has an ability called Symbiotic Bond. Resource. Take 1 damage and generate a resource limit 1 per phase. Oh my gosh. I hope that he doesn't have any more resource generating cards in his kit, because that's ridiculous. This guy can generate a free resource every single turn for his ability. That is such a good ability. Generating resources is honestly one of the best things you can do, because it helps you, I mean, with leadership, and you're running like Vision, you can pump up Vision's damage with generating this resource. You can pay for cards with it. Generating a resource is honestly one of the best things in the game besides drawing a card. So that's going to be a really great ability. You do take a damage for it, but he's a little bulky health-wise. He's not too bulky, but he's pretty bulky, and I'm pretty sure he'll probably have some health increasing cards in his deck. If he does, then this is a really good ability. So in order, let's see, in order to make sure you have the tools you need, you will search a deck for a weapon upgrade during your setup. Then as Venom, you can use Symbiotic Bond to help you generate resources. Add invaluable search cards like Locked and Loaded. So let's look at some of his cards here. So Locked and Loaded, 0 cost event. It is a mental resource. Action, search your deck for a weapon upgrade and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. That's good. So this is the way you get weapons out of the deck. That's something that I wish Rocket had a little bit of, is like, hey, go search your deck for an upgrade. But he doesn't really have that going on, but that's okay. But this is really good. 0 cost, and you get a weapon upgrade. So speaking of weapon upgrades, let's take a look at this one. Multi-gun. It is a 3 cost upgrade. It is a wild resource, so if you pitch it, you can use it to pay for just about anything with that wild resource. It is restricted, so that means you can have 3 restricted cards. Let's take a look at this. Hero action, exhaust multi-gun and choose one of the following. Deal 2 damage to an enemy, choose a player, deal 1 damage to each minion engaged with that player, or remove 2 threat from a scheme. What? He's got a gun that removes threat. So deal 2 damage to an enemy, choose a player, deal 1 damage to each minion engaged with that player, or remove 2 threat from a scheme. That's really good. I want to say it's a little too expensive, but I don't think it is. I think that for 3, and this is just every single turn, every turn you're just getting 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage. That's amazing. It's like Yarnbjorn, but you don't have to pay for it with a physical resource. But Yarnbjorn would be really good with him because he could generate the resource. So having a aggression build of this is going to be pretty sick. But yeah, removing 2 threat from a scheme every turn that's really good. This is a really great card and very versatile. That's what I love about it. All right, let's look at the next one. Venom's Pistol. It's an energy resource, but it costs 1. It's a 1 cost upgrade. Tech weapon, restricted, max 2 restricted cards per player, but he gets 3. When you use one of Venom's basic powers, exhaust Venom's Pistol. Venom gets +1 to that power for this use. What? That's so good. His Thort, I think he thwarts for 1, attacks for 2, and defends for 2. So that means that when you use one of Venom's basic powers, you exhaust the pistol and he gets +1. So you can add +1 for defense, which is you get 3 defense, 3 attack, or 2 thwart every single turn. And that's so good. And you can use this, I'm sure, during the villain turn, and get that extra defense boost. It's number 14 out of 15, so I'm assuming this might actually be 2 of these in the deck. If there is, busted. You're talking 3 thwart, 4 defense, 4 attack every single turn, if there's 2 of them, but we don't know. We'll see. He has another, let's look at the next card. It's a run and gun. It's a 3 cost event. It has an energy resource. Hero action, ready Venom in each weapon upgrade you control for 3 cost. And if you have 3 restricted weapons on him and you ready them all, man, that might be pretty good. Was the last card? Let me look. When you use one of Venom's basic powers, exhaust Venom's Pistol, and Venom gets... you would ready Venom and this, so then you could thwart... Wow, so if you had the Venom's Pistol out and you used run and gun, you could theoretically thwart for 3, or thwart for... attack for 3, exhaust the pistol... Well, you would attack for 2, exhaust the pistol to attack for 3, then use run and gun to ready up. You would ready up Venom and the gun, and then you can attack for 3, so that's like 6 attack. That's really good too. A little pricey. I just think that 3 price is really bad. Grasping Tendrils. It's a 2 cost event, and it is a physical resource. Hero interrupt defense. Okay, so it's a defense event. When the villain initiates an attack against you, cancel that attack. If you paid for this card using only physical resources, stun the villain. Oh my gosh. That is so good. It's legitimately a never back down, but it costs 2. It cancels an attack, then paralyzes. Bro, in multiplayer, in a 2-player game, you literally stop the attack on you, stun him, he can't attack the other player. Oh my gosh, that's so good. 2 cost, it's fair. 2 cost is fair. Let's look at the next one. Behind enemy lines, a 2 cost event, mental resource, hero action, thwart. Remove 3 threat from a scheme if you paid for this card using only mental resources, confuse an enemy. And this is really good too, because you have to remember that he generates a wild resource every turn. So all of these are really only costing 1. They're really costing 1 less. So grasping tendrils only costs 1. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, can I go back? Let me see if I can go back and look at his hero card. Symbiotic Bond, take limit once per phase. So you can use this in the villain phase and in the... Oh my gosh, bro, I'm getting really hyped. I'm so excited for Venom. This is going to be like my character. Oh my gosh, he's so good. So remove 3 threat from his scheme, and then all you have to do is basically use his ability to do a mental, pay a mental, and you confuse the enemy. You remove 3 threat from the scheme for 1 card, man. 1 cost, 3 threat, and confuse. These cards just keep getting better and better. Let's keep looking. Sonic Rifle is an upgrade. It's a tech upgrade. Weapon restricted, uses 2 charge counters. Exhaust Sonic Rifle and remove 1 charge counter from it. Confuse an enemy and deal 3 damage to that enemy instead if it is already confused. Exhaust. I don't know how I feel about this one. Hold on. Exhaust Sonic Rifle and remove 1 charge counter from it. Confuse an enemy. Deal 3 damage to that enemy instead if you're already confused. Deal 3 damage to that enemy instead if you're already confused. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. It looks interesting. Oh, look, it's got Rocket's arm. He's got the Arthur fist. Let's look at this next one. Side holster. 0 cost upgrade. You can control 1 additional weapon upgrade that has the restricted keyword. Oh, so we're adding this to just every single hero. It's a 0 cost upgrade too. So, interesting. I see where they're kind of going with this. And then we're going to look at his, is this his Nemesis? Yep, Venoms Nemesis. Enraged Symbiote. 1 scheme, 2 attack, guard, patrol. While this minion is engaged with you, you cannot thwart the main scheme, and you also cannot attack the villain. Venoms Nemesis minion. Put Enraged Symbiote into play engaged with you. That's if you get him as a boost card. Got 2 health. Interesting. So he doesn't let you attack, or that's an interesting combo with guard and patrol. You can't attack or scheme. So pretty interesting until you get rid of him. Shadows of the Past. Standard. Why does it have this in here? Interesting. Clintar Frenzy. Threat cannot be removed from this scheme while symbiote enemy is in play. So you got to kill him. Then you have to take out this scheme. And then you can thwart the main scheme. So that's pretty interesting. So he kind of locks you up a little bit. I'm not sure why they showed Shadows of the Past. It says, during the game, a Venom's controller is instructed to put their Nemesis minion into play, such as through the card Shadows of the Past. They will be forced to put all 4 of the enraged symbiotes into play engaged with Venom. Okay, so during setup, Venom's player will face 4 copies of enraged symbiote. Oh gosh. Just like any other hero with their Nemesis, during the game, a Venom's controller is instructed to put their Nemesis minion into play. They will be forced to play all 4 enraged symbiotes into play against Venom. This, combined with the Clintar Frenzy side scheme, means that Flash Thompson can never take his power for granted, not when it can just as easily turn against him. Venom's extensive arsenal and resourcefulness makes him a valuable ally to the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians arrive in Marvel Champions, the card game with the Galaxy's Most Wanted, and you can look forward to Venom joining their ranks when the Venom Hero Pack is released in July. Man, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. So, wow, this is cool. So this is unique. He has 4 Nemesis minions, 4 enraged symbiotes that come into play all at the same time. It's literally multiple man, but as a symbiote, as a villain. That's pretty interesting. Well, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this hero pack. This is pretty interesting. I'm really excited for Venom to come out because this guy's got some really cool stuff in his kit. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And tune in for the next video. See you guys later. Peace.